Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Last episode, we had a little chat with Arkemir, who gave us a small quest of something he wanted us to do. Then we went, looked around a bit, and actually went and got an upgrade to our ship. So now, we have a slightly different ship. I upgraded it. It only has 3 cannons instead of 4, but it will look a little different. And now I think we can actually take a look at it, why not? Oh, we've received an important missive from Captain Aldiz. So, you had a little run-in with Ben, and then you dragged it to my doorstep. You could have wiped your feet before you stomped in, but I digress. I know what you did, and I know who you are. And unlike my unfortunately block-headed second-in-command, I recognize a threat when it smacks me upside the head. So, this is me, Captain Aldiz, commander of the goddamn New Blood Principe, leader of the second largest fleet of pirates on the goddamn fucking Deadfire, inviting you, a terrifyingly powerful and strange watcher, to come and meet with me under the strictest parley at Fort Deadlight. Which is to say I promise not to gut you when you arrive for dinner and drinks. Looking forward to having a little hearthside chat. I would like to offer you a partnership of the most glorious and goriest variety. I stretch your back. You gut my enemies from hip to jaw. We laugh at their deaths over a bottle of the finest rum. Oh, and when you come, bring some candied nuts. Your newest and dearest friend, Aldiz. P.S. This is not a trap. As you ready your ship, a cloaked figure mounts the gangplank and roughly forces a burned book into your hands. They turn and depart without a word. The binding of this tome reeks of smoke. What few pages remain are crinkled and black. Based on the few chapter headers that survived the fire damage, this might have been a book of antiquated laws. Now it's nothing more than a charred relic of authority.
You crack the spine of the old book.
Oh.
Revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them. Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides. The air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash.
Hello? Anyone out there?
Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help.
My lady.
Before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Bareth whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise.
Was the ruse with the book really necessary?
For the moment, you are Bareth's creature. There are rules against my direct intervention, but nothing says you cannot willingly seek my counsel.
I see.
Andra and Helia toe the line of acceptable conduct from time to time, and I am nothing if not adherent to our oldest laws.
And what could you say that I haven't heard already?
Insolence will not help you here, child. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching?
Is it? You tell me.
I would never deny that our pantheon is emotional, willful, and prone to overreaction. But we didn't get this far arguing over minutiae. If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures?
And if we prove ourselves, what then?
What indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter.
So why do I get the feeling you're trying to convince me of something?
Judge for yourself. But I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that.
I see.
So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions.
So why did you choose to confide in me?
Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate.
So no pressure. Gotcha.
Before I return to Eora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong. To demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future.
You speak as if we don't have a chance.
You speak as if you do. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan.
And the gods think my actions can prove their point about mortal society?
Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos.
Oh boy. Yeah, no pressure pushed on us. Tell me about this enlightened society you once wanted.
It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture.
So you ascended because you wanted to lead and wanted to ensure that that leadership was eternal. Only you could lead. Wonderful.
Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic.
And how would you have even recognized that ideal society?
A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong.
So what you're saying is that you intended to see if atheism would rise despite the fact that you gods are still present and still interfering. You're kind of defeating the purpose a little bit there. You're basically saying, okay, we're going to see if you don't need us, and we're going to continually poke our fingers in there. Yeah, we're going to see if you can show that you don't need us by leaving all the churches and forming your own governments, and in the meantime, we're going to keep poking in all godlike and everything. You're defeating your own purpose. You're constantly showing, we're there, we're poking in, to make sure that you still need us. Why do the other gods tolerate your opposition?
Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority.
Andra dropped a moon on Aora. What do you call that?
Impulsive. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer.
And doesn't the social engineering plan seem counterintuitive?
You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desire to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow. I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order.
And what happens if someone proves you wrong?
If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived. And it would fall to me to clean up after their mess.
So you're right even when you're wrong. Got it.
Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong.
Back to my other
You have
questions.
learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth.
Has your opinion of mortals changed at all?
Nothing you've done has tarnished it utterly beyond repair. You may congratulate yourself on that much, at least.
And I'd like to talk about the wheel and your rise to godhood.
The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle.
And how did the Ingwithans become gods?
At the height of our power, we recognized the potential of the soul. We knew that it could be bound, split apart, diverted like a river, and hammered together. Hammering was trivial. Those of us who agreed with the Apotheosis Project, and many who did not, submitted to a violent and horrible erasure of our individuality. After the dust settled, we adopted the forms of beings from Aeora's most prevalent myths. There were other faiths and legends, but we labored to strike their names from history.
I see. So, it would be the equivalent of the Greeks figuring out how to ascend to godhood. Many of the members and individuals of Greece basically destroying their souls and the like, and each soul being drawn together based on them having similar opinions or similar stances on something, thus forming into one being who had that one personality. Then they proceeded to adopt the forms, appearances, and identities of the Greek gods, and then went out and crossed out all the Roman gods, the Japanese spirits, Christian gods, Jewish, Hebrew gods, Muslim, and all the other religions until all that was left was Greece and them being the gods that had always existed. I think I understand where they're going. How exactly does the wheel function?
Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point. The wheel has but one material component in all of Aeora. Something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow.
Reincarnation existed before you, so why not just leave it alone?
Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations. We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved.
I see.
Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection.
So that's the purpose of the wheel. I get it.
Speak, Watcher. It isn't every day that I open myself to these communions, so spend your breath wisely.
We'll speak again sometime, I'm sure.
Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Woedica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Alright then. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong ship. There we go. Now I'm on the right ship. How about we take a look at the ship? Why don't we? Okay, so this is what the ship looks like. We're gonna need someone to sit on board one of the ships. Alright, we've got the people up here. I'm pretty sure beneath looks the same, so we don't need to worry. It's like this ship is actually just two extremely long canoes with a large part on top of it. I mean, visually, that's what it looks like. Which is interesting in a way. Alright. Still, good to see it. Okay. So, where are we going to go next? And I probably kind of want to change who I've got with me. We know there's someone to the south. Tahe. Tahe. Which question required Tahe? Oh, we do actually need to go to Fort Deadlight. That is true. Oh, Tahe is the bounty. You know what? We can go and kill Tahe. Easily, I think. We'll head south, take care of Tahe. If we find another ship south of Nekataka, that's good too. Tahe is there. Alright, you get onto here. First we pick up this. And then we can go kill Tahe. Should be relatively easy. Actually, I'm going to... I'll keep who's with me for now. Let's go take out Tahe. Again, this should be relatively easy. It's a troll.
I saw bomb first.
Should be swapped out like
How may I
that.
help?
Nah, if you get too close,
Oh,
you're not going to be able
of
to.
course.
Alright, get on the killing.
Do this.
That's not very helpful.
Those imps seem to teleport a lot. I mean, on the plus side, we're doing plenty of damage.
Oh, come now, step into the light. You like that?
Yeah, those brine imps like to teleport, and they're dead, so we don't need to worry about them anymore. And down goes Tahe. That was easy.
Lost the light. Leave it.
Tears of Saint Macawo. +1 armor rating against spells and grants Martyr's Memories. The caster becomes petrified and untargetable for a brief time. I don't think I like that. Ring of Overseeing, that I do kind of want to give to you.
Of course.
Sure.
Okay. Either way, that was a pretty damn easy fight. Just needed to kill one guy, and it was easily slain. I doubt there's going to be anything to loot around here. But I'll uncover everything as I do. Alright. Yeah, there was nothing of note. Okay. And what is this Teotara marvel? I'm curious. The sea here is vast and smooth as cyan glass. Jumping up and down, Kriya shouts and points to port at the pale pillar of luminous Adra rising from beneath the surface of the water. Beodol takes you closer. Much of the stone is encrusted with coral, but the visible portions coil above the water in long, looping spirals. Adra normally grows in large pillars, but this formation looks almost like 7 tentacles of some terrible sea monster grasping for the sky. Arena whistles low. So old. Had to be Anguithans. Ooh, 5 morale. Eld Engren scoffs. They couldn't do that. That's Andra's slow, steady work. Even at night, the Adra shimmers, glowing from within and casting a ghostly light across the surface of the sea. Indeed, it's hard to tell whether the Adra's strange contours have been shaped by slow wear of the sea or distorted by it. And something about that ambiguity makes the vision all the more extraordinary. The rest of the crew chimes in, debating the wonder's meaning and origins in low, odd voices. Let's see. Triumph of an ancient people, fortunate to see it, clearly work of the gods. Now we've seen it, let's move on. There's no way to know where it came from, enjoy it for whatever it is. Represents the malice of the gods, or continue on our course. There is no way to know where it came from. Enjoy it for whatever it is. Arena nods while Eld Engrim murmurs a quiet prayer. The remainder of the crew nod and return to their duties. Beodol sails past the Adra, maintaining a safe distance. Kriath and Eld Engrim move to the aft castle, eyes locked on the Teotara marvel until it disappears below the horizon. Alright. That I'll definitely take. Crookspur Captain. Biakara. I think... Yep, that's the other person we're looking for. Oh! Oh dear. Random Crookspur Captain attacking. Alright, board and attack. We'll take care of Biakara after this fight, which I think is going to be a bit more difficult of a fight. Alright. They're level 10, we're level 10. This might be a little trickier, but take care of who you can. Nice attack.
Hey, watch it with that.
No, we're actually doing okay. Mostly okay, I think. Yep, we got him. Down goes the wizard, and all that's left is a single slaver. There we go. Not too shabby. Oh, no, wait, there's one more. Captain, and he's down. Not too bad. Alright, there we go. And a few of our people gained ranks and levels. Very nice. And we have a good amount of loot. Very nice. Let's take all and continue. There we go. Very nice. Now, as for that bounty we're trying to get, you're up here. Captain Thanik, you are very dangerous. Oh, you're the, right. Biakara. Hey, Biakara, we're gonna board you. You're gonna go down much more easily, I think. Similar ship, no big deal. Get on fighting. They all charged around. Oh, is Biakara already dead? Yep, Biakara is down. That was easy. Now we just gotta take care of his crew, who are all dying very quickly. Anyone left? Nope, they're all down. Perfect. Ooh. Lance of the Midwood Stag, a two-handed pike. Interesting. Alright, take all. We're good. And with that, tell you what. I'm going to end this episode here. Next episode, since we're right by Nekataka, we'll turn in the bounties, and then move on and I guess go see what that one person wants to speak with us about over at Fort Deadlight. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Laniara, Adair, Joti, Seraphim, and Aloth. This has been a Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, and I shall see you all next time.